Hi folks, and welcome into special beer video from Tits Beer Bomb 420. When it's come to pumpkin beers, folks, I've always been getting ale. And then there's been some years where I'm hearing, oh, there's like pumpkin stouts, there's pumpkin porters, there's this, there's that. Well, Nickelbrook, who's originally from Burlington, but they have a location in Hamilton these days, because earlier this year they reopened what used to be years ago what was it, Lakeport Brewing thing, and they got the Arts and Science Brewery in there and Nickelbrook, so they're called the Arts and Craft Brewery thing, so they're called Arts and Science, and they'll do some Nickelbrook stuff there. So apparently Nickelbrook was doing a pumpkin ale and a pumpkin porter, something you have to get at the brewery and buy like cases of. I have not, been able to get my hands on that, but in the colder months they put out an amazing stout, folks, and this stout you can get barrel aged in red wine barrels, whiskey barrels. It was better with the red wine barrels, but it's way better on its own. And on its own, it's not in the big 750 milliliter bottles. It's 4-packs. And even though it's meant for just like the colder months to be around, you can still find some in like the springtime and stuff. And every once in a while when I find a 4-pack, I pick some up, because I don't know if it's my favorite beer, but it's my favorite or one of my favorite stouts, and each time I have it I can enjoy it just as much as the last time, not get a less enjoyment out of it like some drinks that are amazing. So this bottle has been with me for quite a while now. I definitely got it a lot colder than it should be, and hopefully I can get more if they bring it back to the stores again this year. But this bottle's so many months old. It's Nickelbrook's Bolshevik Bastard Imperial Stout at 9% with 70 IBUs. That old school stout I did had 40 IBUs, and you can tell. With this one you can't tell. There's 70 IBUs. So for this video, a little bit of a pumpkin beer with the stout, mix it together, and see what I create out of that. Closest I'll get to a dark beers pumpkin thing anytime soon. Just one day I noticed I still had a bottle of this amazing 9% stout, and long before I had pumpkin beers and stuff, I thought that's what I'd do with it. So a little bit of the Bose beer with some of Nickelbrook's stout, since I don't have their pumpkin porter or pumpkin ale to review. So we'll pour a little bit of the stout in, a little bit of the pumpkin in, a little more of the stout in. Just roll it up and see what we get. And this stout fucking rules. Great smell. Great beer every time. Just top it off with a little more stout. And to make it a little more interesting, I'm going to put a little bit of the pumpkin pie spice box rye whiskey on the cap. Add a little splash of that, which comes out more like butterscotch, and they kind of say something like that online, the people that do this, but they don't mention about it on the bottle. Upon a look at this creation, for a moment there I thought I saw a brown beer, but no, it's still stayed jet black. It's got a 2-finger staying head. Does not look carbonated or anything. I guess this would be the Weiss Lantern Bastard. And mostly what I'm smelling is the stout, but it has changed the stout a bit. It's like not as hardcore in its smells, but I'm mainly smelling that, and then at the end there's a little bit of the juiciness from the pumpkin and I guess orange peel, taste wise, of this. mixed with this, folks. Great beer, amazing stout. The taste together. The stout dominates in taste. You're getting the roastedness, the chocolateness, like you're getting the bitterness. You're getting like a bitterness, a roastedness, a chocolate taste. And then a bit of a coldness taste. And then there's moments where the pumpkin puree shows up with its juiciness. And then the chocolate and bitterness try and kind of come back and try and hide that. So a moment later it dries out and you're left with like an earthy, like ground note with like a dry bitterness and a little bit like a dry roasty chocolate note. So the stout dominates, but it's like having a stout with pumpkin puree added to it. So, I mean, let's just say it made the pumpkin beer better, but the pumpkin beer didn't make it the stout any better. It just made the stout a little less as good as it is. They work together. But dark beers would highly dominate on a pumpkin beer. That's what I'm hearing and that's what I'm tasting. And one last thing, I'm used to coffee being in dark beers, but apparently at that Hamilton brewery, they're doing up a coffee pale ale that's there right now. So, cheers folks.